What if I told you that the secret to protecting your eyesight as the years advance isn't found in a complicated pill or an intricate examination, but in something you can find at any supermarket and, in fact, can be a delicious and simple snack? I know it sounds almost too simple to be true. Many of us have grown up believing that vision loss is an inevitable part of aging. You see your grandparents, your parents, and you think that's the finish line. Vision blurs, colors fade, and it becomes harder to read the faces of your loved ones. That idea is a ghost that haunts many, a silent fear not spoken aloud, but it's there in the background every time you have to squint to read a jar label. But what if I told you that fear doesn't have to be your destiny? What if you could take control of your eye health in a way so powerful, so natural, and so accessible that you'd wonder why no one had told you before? Hello, I'm honored that you're here with me today. This isn't a video to cause panic. On the contrary, it's a message of hope and empowerment. The truth is, modern science has shown us that our vision is not at the mercy of time. You can actively nourish and protect it, even after 60, 70, or 80 years of age. I have spent many years working with seniors, and one of the most common concerns I hear is about eyesight. I've seen how frustrated they get when they can't enjoy their hobbies like sewing or reading, or when they have to depend on others for daily tasks. But I've also witnessed amazing transformations, small dietary changes that have helped people regain sharpness, vitality, and most importantly, independence. It's as if a veil that prevented them from seeing the world clearly has been lifted. Today, I'm going to share with you five nuts, five small miracles of nature that can make a monumental difference in the health of your eyes and retina. They are easy to incorporate into your daily life. They are delicious, and best of all, they are backed by science. This is not about a magic cure, but a smart and gentle strategy to give your eyes the nutrients they crave. I assure you, the next tip will surprise you. Before we begin, I want to ask you a question. Have you noticed that it's harder for you to see at night, or that colors no longer seem as bright as they used to be? Do you think this is simply age and there's nothing you can do about it? Take a moment to reflect on this. The answer to those questions is the starting point of your journey towards healthier vision. If this topic resonates with you and you want more practical and evidence-based tips, I invite you to like this video and join our community, the Nutrines Med family. All right, let's dive into the first secret of nature that protects your eyes, and this is something you might already have in your pantry. Peanuts. Yes, you heard right. Peanuts, something so common and simple, are a powerhouse for your eye health. Many people don't consider them nuts, but for nutrient purposes, they act as such. And here's the magic. Peanuts are packed with a very powerful form of vitamin E. The body uses this vitamin to combat something called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is like rust on an old bicycle. It's a natural process that occurs in your cells, but as you age, it can accelerate and damage the cells in your retina, the light sensitive part at the back of your eye. It's as if time is wearing down your camera's sensor. Vitamin E acts as a protective shield, neutralizing those free radicals that cause damage. A study involving thousands of people over 60 found something amazing. Those with diets rich in vitamin E had a lower risk of developing cataracts. Cataracts are that cloudiness that forms on the lens of your eye, as if you were looking through a foggy window. Vitamin E helps keep that lens clear and transparent. I remember a 77-year-old woman named Helen. She was an avid reader, but her cataracts were progressing rapidly. Her doctor told her it was inevitable, but Helen decided to be proactive and, among other things, started eating a small portion of unsalted peanuts. In a few months, she noticed an improvement. It wasn't a miracle cure, but the progression slowed down. She felt more in control. Her optometrist, at her next checkup, noticed the difference and asked her what had changed. Helen's face lit up as she explained her little secret. This is the power of small habits. To get the maximum benefit, you only need a handful of peanuts, about 20 or 30 green a day. You can eat them plain, sprinkle them on a salad, or mix them with yogurt. The key is that they are natural and without added salt, because excess sodium is not good for your blood pressure or your overall health. If you have a sensitive gut, don't overdo it. Moderation is key. It's such an easy habit to adopt, but the long term impact on your vision can be immense. Think about it. A simple handful of peanuts can help you continue to see the world you love so much with clarity. If this has fascinated you, wait until I tell you how a few walnuts can do wonders for your retina. Let's move on to tip number 2. Here's a nut that is like a gem for your brain and your eyes: walnuts. And their secret is a treasure called omega 3. Most of us hear about the benefits of omega 3 for the heart, but its role in eye health is equally vital, if not more so. You see, the retina, the part of your eye that processes light and converts it into images, is rich in omega 3 fatty acids, particularly a type called DHA. DHA is like the cement that keeps your retinal cells strong and healthy. As you age, DHA levels can decrease, and when that happens, your retina becomes more vulnerable to damage, which can lead to problems like macular degeneration. Macular degeneration is a condition that affects the central part of your vision. It's as if a blind spot forms right in the center of your visual field, making it incredibly difficult to read, recognize faces, or drive. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that people who consumed more omega 3 fatty acids, either from fish or from plant sources like walnuts, had a much lower risk of developing age related macular degeneration. The key is the anti inflammatory power of omega 3. It reduces inflammation in the delicate blood vessels of the retina, which ensures a healthy and stable blood supply to your eyes. I've seen this in action with an 80-year-old man named Charles. Charles was diagnosed with early macular degeneration. He was devastated as he was an amateur painter and feared his passion would fade. After talking to his doctor about diet, he incorporated a handful of walnuts into his breakfast every day. Months passed, and although the condition didn't disappear, its progression slowed down remarkably. The colors in his paintings remained vibrant, and his ability to see details was maintained. He told me with tears in his eyes that walnuts had given him back hope. So, how do you do it? It's as simple as adding about 5 to 7 whole or chopped walnuts to your morning yogurt, oatmeal, or salad. You can also eat them alone as a snack. Ideally, the walnuts should be fresh and raw. If you buy them toasted, make sure they don't have added oils or salt. If you don't like the taste of plain walnuts, you can mix them with other nuts. The idea is for it to be a habit, a small daily dose of protection for your eyes. It's such a simple act of self care, yet with a profound impact. If you think the power of omega 3 is amazing, wait until I tell you about the third nut. This is a true silent hero for your eye health. Now let's move on to a hidden treasure that almost no one knows about as an eye protector: cashews. Most of the time we think of cashews as a simple snack, but they are a gold mine of zinc. And zinc, believe it or not, is a fundamental nutrient for the health of your retina. It's like the engine of an invisible machine in your eyes. Have you ever wondered why it's so important for vision? Zinc is a vital component of many enzymes found in the eye, especially in the retina. One of the most important functions is to help transport vitamin A from the liver to the retina. Vitamin A, as you know, is crucial for vision, especially for seeing in low light conditions. Without enough zinc, vitamin A, which is a powerful antioxidant, cannot do its job effectively. It's like having a key, but not being able to turn it in the lock. In addition to its transport function, zinc also helps protect the eyes from damage caused by ultraviolet light and oxidative stress. It works like a small guardian in your cells. A study by the National Institutes of Health in the United States showed that zinc supplements, in combination with other antioxidants, can slow the progression of advanced macular degeneration by up to 25%. Imagine the power of a nutrient that you can get naturally in your diet. I remember a 64-year-old woman named Carol. She spent a lot of time in front of the computer, which caused her eye strain and dryness. Her doctor had recommended artificial tears, but Carol, who was very conscious of her diet, began to include a handful of unsalted cashews in her lunch. Within weeks, she noticed that her eyes felt less tired. The dryness decreased. It was a small change, but for her, it was a sign that she was doing something right for her body. To incorporate cashews, you only need about 30 grain or a small handful a day. You can eat them as a snack, use them in a vegetable stir fry, or crush them to make a creamy sauce. As with other nuts, Choose those without added salt. And if your stomach is a bit sensitive, you can soak them in water for a few hours before eating them. Cashews are not only delicious and versatile, but they are also one of the easiest ways to ensure your eyes have the zinc they need to function optimally. It's a small investment in your long term vision. If you've been surprised by the power of zinc, wait until I tell you about a small seed that can make a big difference for your eye health. Now let's move on to the fourth silent hero, sunflower seeds. Although not a nut themselves, their nutritional profile is so similar that we include them in this category, and they are a superfood for your eyes. The main reason is their very high vitamin E content, the same one we found in peanuts, but in an even higher concentration. A 30 g serving of sunflower seeds contains more than half of the recommended daily allowance of vitamin E. This makes them one of the richest food sources of this powerful antioxidant. As I already explained, vitamin E is crucial for protecting retinal cells from oxidative stress and sun damage. It's like giving your eyes sunscreen from the inside. But there's something else. Sunflower seeds are also an important source of selenium. Selenium is a mineral that works in conjunction with vitamin E to protect eye cells. Selenium has been shown to be crucial for lens health, helping to prevent cataract formation. It's like a perfect working team. Vitamin E and selenium complement each other to offer a robust defense against eye damage. I remember the case of a 71-year-old man named Michael. He had always been a sun worshiper and spent a lot of time outdoors without sunglasses. Over time, his eyes became sensitive to light. He found it difficult to see clearly on sunny days. At the recommendation of his nutritionist, he began adding 1 or 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds to his morning yogurt or salad. He told me that he noticed an improvement in his light sensitivity and the clarity of his vision. His optometrist, at his next appointment, also noticed that his eyes looked less inflamed and healthier overall. It wasn't a cure, but it was invaluable protection. To incorporate sunflower seeds into your diet, you can sprinkle them on your oatmeal, mix them in a smoothie, or use them in a salad. You can also eat them plain as a snack, but make sure they don't have added salt. If you have digestive problems, start with a small amount, as they are rich in fiber. It's such a simple, almost insignificant habit, but the cumulative impact over time can be monumental. Protecting your eyes from sun and oxidative damage is one of the best investments you can make in your long term health. Now, for our last tip, get ready for something even more surprising, a nut you might not have considered, but which is a true giant in protecting your retina. One of the most surprising and powerful nuts for your eye health is almonds. I know almonds have a reputation for being good for the heart and brain, but their power for vision is something that is often overlooked, and their secret is a hidden treasure: riboflavin or vitamin B2. Riboflavin is like a tireless worker in your eyes. It is an antioxidant that helps reduce oxidative stress in the lens. A low level of riboflavin has been linked to an increased risk of cataracts. It's as if the lack of this vitamin makes the lens of your eye more fragile and prone to opacity. Riboflavin also helps keep eyes healthy and reduces eye fatigue. It is especially important for people who spend a lot of time reading or looking at screens. In addition to riboflavin, almonds are also an excellent source of vitamin E and magnesium, a mineral that is essential for nerve and muscle function, including the muscles of your eyes. I have seen how almonds have helped many people. A 75-year-old woman named Martha spent a lot of time knitting. She complained that her eyes felt tired and hurt at the end of the day. She decided to start eating a handful of almonds a day at her daughter's recommendation. In a few weeks, she told me that her eyes felt less strained. She could knit for longer without feeling discomfort. It was a subtle change, but for her, it meant she could continue enjoying her favorite hobby without pain. To incorporate almonds, you only need a handful, about 30 green a day. You can eat them whole, dry roasted, or mix them with yogurt or oatmeal. You can even make homemade almond milk. It's a delicious and nutritious snack. As always, choose unsalted and unsweetened almonds. If you have gallbladder problems, talk to your doctor before increasing your intake of healthy fats. It's such a small and simple change, but the impact on your visual health can be immense. Think about this. With a little time and planning, and a simple handful of almonds can be an act of love for your eyes. Now that we've explored the five simple but powerful nuts, let's take a moment to reflect. While each tip is small on its own, what transforms your health is how they add up. Snack by snack, handful by handful. These 5 nuts seem small, but they have real power. Peanuts for vitamin E, walnuts for omega 3, cashews for zinc, sunflower seeds for vitamin E and selenium, almonds for riboflavin and magnesium. Each one supports your vision in a unique and powerful way. The truth is, it's never too late to start. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one, the one you like best, or the one that's easiest for you. Observe how your body responds. Small steps often lead to the biggest changes. I have seen how these tips have helped many older adults. They feel more in control of their health, regain clarity of vision, and most importantly, they can continue to enjoy the things they love, seeing the faces of their grandchildren, reading a good book, or simply contemplating the beauty of a sunset. You deserve that too.